It takes about 90 minutes to assemble a computer. Its hard drive disk saves information transmitted to it for a long time. The reading head reads the information. It is extremely precise. The space between the reading head and the hard disk is as thin as a hair. The hard disk is installed in its position within the computer. There are two other units which safeguard information: the removable 3-inch disc reader and the CD-ROM reader, which allows for the reading and execution of programs recorded on compact discs. These two units are placed into position. The spinal column of the computer is the motherboard. It is to this unit that the other elements of the computer are connected. This cooler dissipates the heat generated by the chipset. Certain sound cards are integrated directly on the motherboard. These connections, in sequence, are the audio input, its output, and the microphone port. This AGP retaining ring secures the video card during transport. This thermal unit measures the temperature emitted between the processor and the motherboard. The processor is the brain of the system. It interprets, calculates, and executes the instructions given to it. The processor has several millions of transistors, and its cadence, its operating speed, reaches the gigahertz level. The processor rests on this base. The processor's cooler dissipates the intense heat. Its efficiency depends on the type of material used, and a conducting material assures better cooling. The RAM memory stores short-term information, but erases it when the current is turned off. This memory is more rapid than that of the hard disk or the CD-ROM. Now they integrate everything in the case. It protects the internal elements from the external elements. At this stage, they install the electronic components in this case. Several connectors of the case are connected to the motherboard, such as the commutator and various light indicators. This is the output connection for the video card, which links the computer to the monitor. We also see the video chip, which creates images in 2 and 3 dimensions. Here is the video memory. The more its capacity is increased, the clearer will be the image displayed on the monitor. The video card is placed into its position. The modem allows two computers to communicate. Its condensers produce the perfectly clean phone signal to facilitate communications. These modem chip connectors control information circulating between the two computers. The fax modem is installed. The power supply transforms electricity according to the voltage required by the different components. The computer's interior cabling is installed. It allows information to travel between the different media and the motherboard. The IDE cable is connected and the CD-ROM. The last electrical wires are connected to different computer components. The assembly of 30 components of the computer is now finished. Just before closing the case, they test each computer to verify the good functioning of the peripherals. Then they close up and proceed to packaging. This company produces about 300 computer units every day. Fabric is made from thousands of braided threads. This mill has 700 bobbins of polyester. Each bobbin contains 250,000 meters of thread. We begin by separating the threads. This warp unit takes the 700 strands and assembles them. Then this comb separates them. Other strands are added, and in total, there will be 7,000 of them well aligned. One fabric is composed of threads braided at 90 degrees. The warp threads are assembled lengthwise, while the weft threads are joined transversely. To prevent the threads from tearing, they pass through a bin of glue. These rollers eliminate the surplus. The glue will be removed with water before dyeing the threads. The glued together threads exit this machine. These large green cylinders are heated and dry the glue on the threads. Knitting will soon begin. The 700 strands are newly separated on this loom roller. Each thread must pass through a blade to produce a specific design. This machine takes the 7,000 strands of thread one by one, and they pass through the blade. It's a highly precise operation. The threads pass through a blade, and the weaving finally begins. On this Jacquard-type loom roller, the warp thread is inserted by a jet of air. The weaving machine assembles 2 loom rollers made of 7,000 strands. The fabric reaches a width of 3.65 meters. The dark threads are inserted into the weave. They insert 600 weft strands per minute. The blades remove the weft strands to insert the warp ones between the two. A comb pushes the weft. The plate of the breakage chain stops the machine should a thread break. This bobbin contains 250,000 meters of thread. That's 250 kilometers. The weft thread is in the insertion nozzle. When a weft is inserted, an air jet nudges it in. The loom roller operates at full tilt. It makes 600 thread intersections a minute. Weaving is now over. We move on to the following steps: washing and dyeing. Washing is done in a soapy solution at 80 degrees in a continuous manner at a speed of 60 meters of fabric a minute. The fabric is rinsed in clear water of about 30 degrees. Now it's on to dyeing. This is done with jets. Up to 12,000 meters of fabric are placed in clean water into which colorants have been added. The solution is heated and the fabric soaks here for about 6 hours. Then it will be rinsed in lukewarm water. The fabric is placed in a bin. This machine is called an opener. It unfolds and stretches the material before rolling it up on an immense roller. And now the roll is almost full. We now move to thermosetting in a high-temperature oven which dries the fabric. The temperature is 200 degrees centigrade at the oven's entrance. The fabric circulates here for 45 seconds. This finished roll weighs 1,500 kilos. The bobbin that we saw at the beginning has produced 25 kilometers of fabric.